Hey guys, what's going on? Alright, so Saturday I went to a Refuse Fascism protest to ask some questions as a citizen journalist. So it was my first time ever doing that. Oh, well, I'm lying. I asked questions at the CDC protest, but we were all kind of like-minded. They were really open. And but anyway, okay, so that was the first time I'd gone to a Refuse Fascism protest. And funny enough, two of the people in that group invited me to their meeting. So I'm going to do work at a cafe, and they're like, hey, you want to come to our fascism meeting? A Refuse Fascism meeting? And I was like, Refuse Fascism? That sounds great. That sounds awesome. And I brought in my computer because I was picking out color schemes for something I was doing, and I was working on that as I was listening to them. But it actually made me really sad. I actually got a little depressed after I left, because I was like, these people are out of their minds. They mean well. I think they mean well. I think deep down they're good people, but they mean well, but they're out of their minds. And so two of the other people, they recognized me, and they're like, oh, you're asking us questions now, so that must mean you're against us, which, you know, I was asking them questions. Apparently they can't answer questions. They just want to hand out flyers to people that think like them, and they're not. Anyway, so, you know, two of them were like, yeah, I remember you, and you came to. I was like, yeah, you invited me to your meeting, you dummies. Like, she was like, you're a troll. I was like, you invited me. How do you? So you invited a troll to your meeting? Is that how you roll? Like, wow, if Trump really was fascist, we'd be screwed. Because you guys really suck at, like, you know, building an opposition. So so by the time I got to talk with him, you know, I was annoyed. And mind you, I didn't go back to the meeting. They had some more, and I was just like, I can't take them seriously. I can't contribute to, I think if I would have kept going back and then pretending to be one of them and then, like, change, I think that would have been more messed up. But in this instance, and especially since one of the main things I was looking for when I was in the meeting, I was looking to see if they were planning to bomb anybody or do something violent. So it didn't look like they were going to. So they seemed pretty harmless at that time. So I was just like, I'll just let them go. Oh, cool. You know, oh, cool. So I meet them again, and they're just totally, like, toddler brats. I can't believe it's, like, act your age and not your shoe size. The lady with the turd poster, I'm like, is this for real? Like, I'm like, where's Ashton? Am I being punked right now? Like, come on. That's how I felt. It was a little bit unreal, but I really like going out and asking those people questions. And I actually like talking to like-minded people. I do, but I also like talking to people that have different views than me, because sometimes we can come to a different conclusion based on our different ideals, but that's a different conclusion that's suitable for both of us. And I think that a lot of people, you know, are afraid of that haven't really pondered a lot of the things that they are pondered on, a lot of the beliefs that they have. I think they just believe it, they're told to believe it, and then they believe it, but they don't really think about why they believe it. And I'm going through a process or a phase in my life where I'm doing that with a lot of stuff. So I'm really open, and I feel like it's made me a better, more well-rounded person because of it. I don't think that, you know, they're gonna get anywhere because they're not willing to talk to people. It's just so bizarre to me. You know, that guy that I told him I was a libertarian, he's like, I don't want to talk to you. I was like, what? Like, libertarians is so chill. Like, you know, I guess I'm still kind of figuring out my political, if I do fit into political category, but these past few years I feel like that one kind of suits me the most if I had to choose one. But I think in the future, whoever, you know, runs for whatever I'm voting for, whoever has the best ideas, that's who I'm gonna vote for if I vote. You know, I don't think that, you know, people look at, like, politics as if they're a team. You know, that some like Republicans and Democrats, they both can't have good ideas and they both can't have bad ideas. They're just people. They're just, you know, ideologies that are constantly forming. It's not it's not sports. Like, there are people that think this is sports. It's not sports. It's life or death. It's the formulation of our country, our society. But I think that there has to be respect for that. And I've talked about this before. I do think that there's a yin and a yang. I think that is important to be conservative because you have to have a footing. But I think it's also important to be progressive because that's how you evolve. But if you evolve, you want to evolve. I think the conservative aspect of our society is getting us to stay grounded. So we evolve in a very mature way, because you can evolve into something that is unhealthy, like the SJW people, right? They're evolving into this victim mentality, this victim culture. It's cancer. It's pulling people down. I think I might make a video about this in the future, but my cousin, I'm digressing a little bit, I know, but my cousin, one of my cousins, she's like tremendously overweight, and she was really into the fat pride movement. And she wrote this long essay on her wall, in public, mind you. So my thing is, if you're gonna write a public note, you're gonna have to get ready for public comment. So you can't like write a public note and like get mad when people like disagree with you. I mean, you're putting yourself out there. That's what you're doing. So I was really nice. I told her, I was like, she was basically talking about like how social justice practitioners need to like school people and get them ready and for fat biased and being fat is okay. And I'm like, no, it's not. And I'm not saying like I'm a skinny mini freak. I know that, but I'm talking about like being obese. They're beautiful women come in all different sizes. People have different frames, skeletal frames, and some are bigger than others and some are smaller than others, and that's okay. Like, I don't think all women should be super skinny or and I would say the same thing about anorexia. I think that's unhealthy. So to me, it all comes down to your BMI, your body mass index, and your proportion weight to your height, because if that gets out of proportion, then it starts either way, whether you're anorexic or you're obese, it puts stress on your organs, and then it starts leading to all different sorts of health problems, and then your health problems affect your mental ability and all that stuff. So that's another video. But anyway, yeah, we got into it because I was just saying, it's not okay. I was like, I do agree that people are prejudiced against fat people, but everybody's prejudiced against at one point in their life. I'm so over that. Like, I can be like, oh, everybody hates me because I'm black. Oh, everybody hates me because I'm a woman. Oh, there are fat people that get on me because I'm too skinny. They make snide remarks about my weight, and I make a conscious effort to exercise and to eat healthy, and I work at it. I mean, well, I have a fast metabolism, to be honest, but I still work at trying to be healthy and conscious and try and spread that word, that philosophy to other people by doing. But anyway, but there are people that make really crude, mean, hurtful comments about me being skinny, and I have to deal with it. And I guess it's not appropriate for me to like say that hurts my feelings or that like gets under my skin because, well, I'm skinny. I don't get discriminated against. But that's bullshit crap. I'm trying not to curse, it's hard. Okay, so it's bullcrap. So we got into it, and I wasn't even mean. I was just saying that I told her basically, you're gonna have to meet people halfway. You can't scold people, the very same people that you want to stop discriminating against you, by making them feel guilty and like they're horrible people. And there are health problems to being overweight. Like, I was really nice. I know I can be snarky, but in this instance, I was just very thorough and really nice. And now she thinks I'm like the worst person in the world, like won't talk to me. We had a mutual friend, and a mutual family member that was really close to both of us that died, and I sent her flowers, and she won't even like acknowledge me. And that's what I did. I could have been like, put down the fried chicken. Maybe, I didn't say that. I was really nice, and I was really honest. And it sucked because a lot of people in the family would talk behind her back and talk about how humongous she was, and that was sad. And it's not like they were being mean about it. They just, they wanted her to do well and be healthy, and they knew that her being, and her mother died of complications of overweight, and the person that I just mentioned that died, that was really important to both of us, she just died of complications of being overweight. So I don't, you know, I don't see how this is going to end good for her, and I did it because I care. But this whole social justice warrior mentality it's making people, it's like they're self-sacrificing themselves, but slowly. And they'll try and take other people down with them, but they think they're doing good, but they're doing the opposite. And this whole, since this past election, it's really made me think about, I'm not sympathizing with the Nazis and what they did, but I'm thinking about how easy it was maybe to get people in a mentality like that, where they're just so brainwashed, and you know, and people think they try and trace it back to nationalism, but it was something else, you know. And if you do look into Nazism, certain aspects of that, they were into the occult, and then you had like the Vril and other people, oh my camera, the Vril, and so they were messing around with that stuff. There's a really good documentary, I can't remember the name of it, I can't remember the name of anything today, but if you can find it on YouTube, it's a documentary that talks about all different types of Holocaust, not just the Jewish Holocaust, but like because they weren't the only people that went through a Holocaust, like lots of other races and ethnic groups did too. But it was a documentary that just talks about the act of genocide and how it's happened all over the world. And they talked about the Rwandan genocide, and they had some of the people in prison that killed some of the other tribes. And they interviewed this one guy, and he was like, well, the reporter was like, why would you do something like that? Didn't you know that you were doing evil? And the guy was like, well, he goes, I know this sounds weird, but when I was going on, it's like something came over me that I couldn't control, and I couldn't stop it. And I saw what I was doing, but I couldn't like stop it. And I was like, whoa, like, oh my God, that is crazy. But I think there was a Tavistock Institute in that area, or Tavistock was doing some experimentation in that area. There's also Project Bluebeam. So I think that these things are possible. But I think if you are in a certain mind state, if you have a weak auric field, or you're on SSRI drugs, or even legal drugs, or you're depressed, anything that messes up your auric field, I believe, makes you more susceptible to these dark forces. If anybody has any research on this that you could send me, or any leads on this, I'm dying to know this, because I feel strongly about this theory. I know I can't prove it, but I would like to see some evidence where I can get some tangible proof, where I can prove it through science, because I know there are people that still want, which is, you know, rightfully so. But yeah, man, there's just some otherworldly stuff going on, because these people are, they are like, something's taken over them. Call me like dramatic, call me crazy, I don't care. Like, something's rotten in the state of Denmark, and it's not me, it's something else. It's called zombies. So anyway, I think that's it. All right, guys, I will see you later. If I don't post before, happy Thanksgiving. All right, peace, and love you guys. Bye. Mwah.